Hello Exiles, it's Dosi here, bringing you an unscripted video this time. I wanted to showcase my week 1 character, my Volcanic Fissure of Snaking Warden. So, I know what you're all thinking, what the fuck, it's not week 1 anymore, week 1 was like 2.5 weeks ago. But I was on holiday, I could not league start with the rest of you guys, unfortunately. Sounded like a great time. I came back from my holiday last Monday, so yeah, this is basically my week 1. Initially, I wanted to play Ice Crash Warden. Everybody was playing or planning on playing Lightning Strike, so I thought, yeah, it could be interesting to play Ice Crash, but I realized that the AoE was a little bit small without investment, and it didn't feel that good to play. So, after watching Captain Lance's video, credit is owned where credit is due, I realized that Volcanic Fissure of Snaking felt really good, and it hits 3 times, so even though it says 318% effectiveness of added damage at level 20, in fact, that's times 3, so 960 basically, which is really good effectiveness of added damage. Also, it has a lot of quality of life built into it, into the skill, because yeah, it auto targets enemies, so you don't have to aim, you can just hit in the middle and your fissures will go around the map looking for enemies. Clear is really good, it makes it really good for blight, really good for ritual, really good for, yeah, most things. I've recently tested Sanctum. I've done my quest Sanctum, and yeah, it's real good for Sanctum because it has a lot of damage. It freezes everything with the Warden Ascendancy, and yeah, it feels real good. Yeah, but what I wanted to say is the way I build the character, there's nothing really very skill specific. It's you could sock it in any other kind of skill usable with a mace, and it would work. Yeah, I chose Mace because I wanted to use Overlord. It's been many leagues since I've used this Ascendancy, this notable passive, sorry. And yeah, it feels real good. I wanted to do something a little bit different. So yeah, you could just sock it in something else you'd like to play, and it will work just fine. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not going to show them all, but that's how it works. Also, the other thing is this build is very reliant on Tinctures. So if you're ever watching this video in the future in another league and Tinctures have been giga nerfed, which they probably will be because they're completely overtuned, yeah, this build will not do as much damage. I'll show you in the POE, but it basically is 10% of the damage without the tinctures, something like that. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. And as a warden, you can have double tinctures up almost 100% of the time. So can't show you in the hideout, but basically you'll have your tinctures up for 12 seconds, and the cooldown to reactivate them, starting from the first activation, is 12.4 seconds. We're all human, none of us would reactivate them perfectly anyway, so they're basically always up. But it is a big issue in the sense that there's a lot of buttons to press. That's why I think this build is really strong. I'm really happy to have started with it, but I'm not sure this is the build that I'll take throughout the league and I'll play for every single content I want to do. Simply because it relies on too many buttons. Now, what I wanted to do was showcase a map. So I have this Hydra map. I still haven't finished my Maven invitations, so I'm gonna use this showcase to do just that. Yeah. Let's go. Let's show you how the build plays, how the build feels. I upgraded my gear to be able to start streaming, to be able to do higher quality content, but every time I load a map for the first time this league, I tend to lag out a little bit, so I hope there won't be too many lags. Let's get started. So basically how you play the build is you activate your tinctures, you activate Blood Rage, then you hit everything, and you need to be wary of your tinctures when they, yeah, there you go, when you need to reactivate them or not. You need to be careful to not deactivate them as well. It's not that bad since we're a Warden, but it is a little bit of a pain. It's a little bit of micromanagement that we could honestly do without. I wish there was some way to automate them, even if it meant less power. What the fuck is this werewolf doing? I don't know. Let's do the ritual. I don't know if I'm gonna do them all, but I have a divine saved up in a ritual altar, and yeah. So is the divine there? I don't know. We'll see. But as you can see, it clears real well. You don't really need to pay attention. I'm gonna remove these for the showcase. You don't really need to pay attention to anything. Sorry for your zoomers out there. I'm a bit of a slow player, so you guys would probably play it better than I would. I'm better at theory crafting. Yeah, what else can I say? I also use the new Shields Fallen for Lucky Block. I'll show you on the POB right after the showcase. I think I have, well, I have more than 70% block and 70% spell block, which is really good for survivability. I was on the fence, and I still am on the fence of using bark skin for the spell suppression. I still don't know, because bark skin procs, so you lose charges when you block. You don't take damage, but you lose charges, which means with high block like this, it's relatively easy to sustain your bark skin charges at 0, and yeah, having 73-76 with the mastery spell suppression, suppress spell damage with 100% spell suppression. That's quite crazy, if you ask me. But I feel that I haven't tested it out, so this is only a feeling. I feel that with when you really need to block those big spell hits, I don't know, like Shaper Slams or things like that, you would be at 10 bark skin, and then it wouldn't be as useful at all. Compared to freezing all of the enemies, I feel that that's useful in every situation. Even pinnacle bosses slowed by 50% is real feels good. Also, freezing enemies enables easy mode for Sanctum runs. So yeah, I just discovered this. My character literally just passed level 96, sorry, and I did my quest Sanctum and realized it was real easy. It felt real good. So yeah, I'm probably gonna farm a bit of those to get some more currency and be able to invest into the build. Another issue with the build is that you have a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Ramp with the rage, with seconds of freeze and everything. But yeah, as you can see, it still does real well. All right. Let's quickly hop onto the POB so I can show you a little bit of the details, but we won't do too much. This is not a build guide. This is just a showcase letting you know how I've done and how I've built the build. All right. So, first thing you can see is it has pretty good damage. Right now there's 0 rage, 0 seconds of freeze. I don't have Unbound Avatar. This is just the normal damage, I'd say. Yeah, if you have Rage, because we're using a gain 1 Rage on melee hit, Lethal Pride, that's our only source of Rage, so it isn't very consistent during the beginning of boss fights, but as you can see, once the fight gets... the longer the fight, the bigger the damage basically on this build, because if you have 30 rage, there you go, you're up to 32 million DPS. Also, for every second the enemy is frozen, which is quite common as a Warden, you gain a lot of damage with the mastery that you take right here, the Cold Mastery. Additionally, you can use Unbound Avatar if you've inflicted ailments. We inflict Ignite, Chill, Freeze, and Shock. So yeah, we do stack ailments quite quickly. And if you use that, you have a shitload of damage. But this situation never really happens. You don't have 80 million DPS right off the bat. That's unreasonable. Yeah, I do find that this number is quite reasonable. Alright. Yeah, what else can I say? Okay, so block chance, 74, 76. Feels good. I rarely die. I do not have a very high max hit, so from time to time I do take some damage. Especially, I think Steel Skin is enabled here. Yeah, I do not have a very high max hit. Yeah, that's one of the issues. I do think Progenesis would help quite a bit. Yeah, it would help quite a bit to mitigate these big hits, which you would probably use instead of the Jade Flask, something like that. Yeah, I also wanted to have fun with the build, and I'm not using Grace nor Determination, and yeah, I still don't die. Don't die that often. It is a softcore build. I would not recommend this on hardcore, or at least not my version. Anyways, yeah, the build is a lot of fun to play. I really recommend you give it a try, or just in general, you give a try to Warden, and not only for Lightning Strike or Frost Blades. There are many of other skills. If there's ever been a skill you've been interested in, an elemental melee skill you've been interested in, that you never really gave a try because the damage numbers weren't really good or you didn't find guides out there, I really recommend you do it this league. And you can use this as a template, and I'm sure there are plenty others out there. Anyways, to conclude this video, I guess you've noticed, it's my face. Not that anyone really cares, but yeah, there you have it. I've invested in some hardware so I'd be able to stream and do content. So yeah, I'll put a link to my Twitch channel below if you wanna pay me a visit. I have plenty of things planned for this league. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you next time, maybe.